Hello and welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League. I'm your host and commissioner, Sierra Cotto, here with my co-host, Mike Cabalon, and Ify Wadiwe, who is fresh from Boston.
How you doing?
Oh, boy.
Go Sox.
So for those of you who are
Pats.
just joining us recently, we finished MaxFunDrive a month and a half-ish ago.
Sure.
And we set some goals. We said if we get X amount of new members, then we'll do this thing. And one of those rewards was if you will do a whole episode in a Boston accent. And unfortunately, we hit that goal. And here we are.
Just remember, y'all asked for this.
Yes, yeah.
This is something you wanted. You said, park the car, come inside
It's
in the booth.
Because we had
Talk.
established that there were some
Talk about
shortcomings
the-
with the Boston accent.
Yeah.
Tap Chef.
He was also doing this before we even started recording, just
Tap
like getting the
chef.
character.
Yeah, because again, you flew in, I'm assuming from
Boston.
Logan Airport.
Logan Airport.
BOS for the airport code heads out there.
Is it really?
BOS.
Why do you know
I
that?
think.
Yeah.
I'm always
Yep.
going to
Oh,
Boston.
okay, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
BOS, Boston. I was right across the street from Boston Laughs. Didn't do a set.
Laughs Boston.
That too.
Heads up.
That one too.
It's
Boston
that-
Laugh,
It's
Boston.
It's not just the accent, it's that the like timbre of your voice is like for some reason you're impersonating an old Bostonian man.
Oh, sure. Yeah, like a little winded.
Yeah,
too,
you don't
a
sound
little
like
airy.
Iffy doing a Boston accent. You sound like old Mr. Jenkins next door doing a Boston accent.
It's in you like the
It's
smile.
just how the Boston people talk, they just you sound a little,
It's fascinating. It's good.
fascinated.
Wow,
Oh, I just got a text from M. She's dumping you?
Yeah.
she wants out.
The Boston
Fair
not ready
enough.
for the Massachusetts.
Sure, yeah, you're disgracing her
Choots.
Wow, okay.
land. So
I can't wait for the next hour or so of my time.
I mean, this is great. This is already off to a great start. And so we'll hop right into the episode. This is an episode that opens again with Tristan reviewing the news from last week, which we know he lost his father. I
Yeah,
mean, gosh, I'm
terrible.
like, after that,
It sounds so insincere.
yeah.
That truly made it terrible. He lost his father.
It is, yes, I agree, Boston Iffy. It is rough. Because, and after seeing last week's ep too, I feel like he just can't not win.
He's so good.
He's good. The fact that he overcame and still won, I'm
Yeah.
this, just give it to him.
That's
Just
like-
one of those guys, he's one of my guys. He should have been the first guy I got, but I went with Cat because, I was sticking to
sure.
the bit. But, if I was sticking to my original bit,
You woulda.
Tristan would be on my team. We'd be going all the way. Kind of like the
Couple of-
Sox.
What hurts every
Couple of
time you guys
Boston
talk about
dudes.
this is I think about how I drafted, and I'm like, I drafted with legitimacy. I was like, these are people I believe in. I think these
Yeah.
are the best picks. They're going to go far. And to remind everyone at home, I'm down to one chef remaining in dead last place.
I mean, you did have a good chef today, correct?
Great. He did great this
Massimo,
week.
yeah.
I'm not. It's
Well-
not 40 points. Good.
Sure.
Look,
But yeah, well,
Massimo might be the one to take you all the way. Budalo said, I like this
he
guy.
did. Buddha loved
Budalo.
him. Buddha was big Massimo
One of
fan.
his guys.
You sound
Very
like your high buddy trying to do a JFK impression.
JFK. Do the country speech. Or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask
Oh,
not.
yeah, ask
Ask
not.
not what you can do for your country. Or
Oh,
ask
yeah,
not what your country
that's
can do for
not
you.
what you could do for your country, but what your country could do for you.
What?
Nice,
Okay,
nice,
yeah.
yeah.
That
Yeah, I
that's
guess
the
so.
version of JFK that was like in the mafia.
Right. Yeah.
For you.
Perfect. That's the long lost Kennedy cousin.
Don't worry about the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh yeah, yeah. He did that too. He has so many great
The
things
greatest
to
hits of
touch
JFK.
on. Yeah.
Lamb chowder.
Oh, speaking of, we get right into the quickfire challenge with the muscles. Flex your muscles.
Smooth transition.
Hey, sometimes there are muscles in clam chowder, not
We're
just
definitely
clams.
going to get the podcast awards this year.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that's
see-
right. There's a Golden Globe. Yeah,
Oh,
Golden Globe
right.
category for best podcast.
See you there.
We're
That moment,
campaigning
that
hard.
transition right there, that segue, which I think was also invented in Boston.
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 In Boston.
Boston. Yeah.
Okay, I'll admit this, and I'm ashamed to admit this. I didn't know what PEI muscles stood for until this episode. And they're like, yeah, Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
I knew it was a place, but I didn't know.
Dylan knew. I hadn't known, but I assume it is Prince Edward Island, as we learned. They do over 50 million pounds of muscles per year.
That's a shit ton of
That's
muscles.
a lot of muscle.
That's a large number.
Yeah, if you want to see that, if you want to see that if
You got to commit to it.
well, if this is more grammar that is confusing me.
Okay.
But if you want to see that many muscles, you'd have to go to my Instagram.
Oh, there we go.
That was good. That was
We
good.
Yeah,
got
because I
there.
was gonna say that much muscles, but no, you'd say that many muscles.
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Sure,
That was
sure.
impressive. You had to render the accent and the iffy character and the grammar of it all at the same time.
This is hard work.
Yeah.
This is what paying
Yeah,
off.
if you would open my personal task manager
My God.
like you would on a PC, it'd be all in the red right now.
It's hard. It's a lot of processors firing at once. And this is what you get for donating to the MaxFunDrive, being a member.
This is
you
a
know?
punishment. We're
This
so
is
sorry.
this is our hard work
As they
paying
say,
off.
suffering from success.
Yes, they do.
Happy to do it. Happy for the pots and pans that went ahead and became members. And I definitely think more of you should become members after this.
Yeah, there's
So
more
you
of
know
this.
how we commit to you. Think not what you can do for your podcast, but what your podcast can do for you.
Okay, it's getting stronger.
Oh man,
It ticked up from a 2 to a 3 just then.
You just gotta, you gotta live in the accent, I think, and then it'll come
It'll
around.
slowly come to me.
Hell yeah.
It's all coming back to me now.
Hell yeah. Get Ben Affleck
Also-
there.
When you
Once
kiss
again-
me like this.
Once again, the melody doesn't change with the accent. You could have sang the song normal and it would have been fine.
It's hard.
And yet you changed the notes. All coming back to me now. Wow.
Wow.
That was
this is
pretty
just-
good. That was
Be
pretty
careful.
good.
We're gonna get claimed, guys.
Yeah.
Careful there.
When we change that's why he did it. It's for copyright. When we
Right,
change the
right.
notes that much,
Right,
you can
they'll
claim it's an
never
original
know.
composition.
I mean, it is. Parody-
Obviously.
Parody law, whatever. The guest judge was named Malona. I didn't get the rest. Sorry. All right, dishes. We got Vinny's larb style mussel lettuce cup with cilantro garnished with pickled chilies.
Okay. I don't have any Thai in me. I don't think you have any Thai in you,
No,
right?
no.
But I've heard it pronounced lob. Like the R is like, you know
that
what I
makes
mean?
a
You
lot of
gloss over it.
sense. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's true. If you're
Mhm.
Thai, please write in what
Please.
what the correct pronunciation would be. But it did strike me as a little weird. They were hitting that hard R on like larb.
Larb.
And I was like, that just doesn't sound like a pretty.
I mean,
It might be a Canadian thing. Also, it's kind of weird you didn't ask if there was any Thai in me.
wow.
Is there any Thai in you?
Nope, but I be tying people. Shabari.
Okay, shit. The
I
lore.
thought you were going to go the other way with that joke and say, there was some Thai in me on Friday night.
Oh,
His name is Steven or whatever.
that
Yes.
could work. That could
Sorry.
also work. Oh.
As much as it may seem that way, power top.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Moving on.
No
kidding.
Thai and iffy, but a little black and Steven, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We got to ask Steven first. Good. Glad we cleared that up, everybody.
We're so sorry to the kids listening.
Yeah,
so
the
many
kids
children.
that are listening in the class, that the teachers
Oh, yeah. They
put it
gotta,
in.
they got to take out the aux cable, kids.
Yeah.
Vinny did say Karma Sutra like 19,000
Oh,
times
that's
in that
right.
episode, so I feel like
He loves
just,
hitting a hard R.
He just puts the
And
Oh,
that's
no.
dangerous
Yeah.
for his black
He
friends.
better not. Yeah,
Definitely.
he better watch that.
Kama Sutra.
Or else, that Karma Sutra will come back to get him. All right, Bailey had her mussels in onion and mezcal with black garlic aioli and chilled apple broth.
Their least favorite, right? If I remember correctly.
She was on the least faves. Yeah, you're right. Along with Massimo, whose was smoked mussel sandwich with tomato emulsion and zucchini blossoms. He was
Right.
surprised that zucchini blossoms were also used by Tristan,
That's right.
who did his PEI mussel and zucchini flour with mussel emulsion and zucchini salad on top with a mussel juice dressing.
Mhm.
Yum.
Yeah.
And then Lana finally with her mussel Italian toast with garlic mussel juice aioli and mustard, olive, and capers.
Yeah. Okay. So if those are all the dishes, that's what I was gonna say. Is that Bailey's? I think was I don't know. I don't want to say this in like an insulting way, but just like of the batch, like the least creative. It was most just like I cooked some
Oof.
mussels really well. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. It was like it was mainly just mussels
Right,
and then
right,
like
right.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that strategy before. Sometimes you just do something really well,
That's
and
true.
when people are taking big swings and failing,
Mhm.
sometimes you come up on top.
That's true.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Boston Iffy.
Said taking a big swing at the Boston accent in Fenway Park. Yeah.
Yeah. Fenway Park.
So the 4 favorites were Lana, Vinny, Tristan, and Shuai. So 4 favorites this time. They each get half a point. And Lana was the winner. It was her first quickfire win.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. With
About
her
time.
$10,000.
Things are turning around for Team Boston Iffy.
Hell yeah. We love to
Boston
see it.
Iffy.
A big old Boston comeback. Least faves, of course, were Mossmo and Bailey.
Just like the Sox that one year.
What year?
It was, I want to say, it was like 20.
Oh, recent.
Yeah, like a 2017.
One of the oldest franchises in the league, and you're going to go with one of their 2000s
Well, no,
wins.
there was one game that specifically went really long. I think you know which one. It was like one of the playoff games. I think it might have been against those Yankees.
Yankees. Yoinkers.
Against the Yankees. More on that in a second. But continue.
I feel like Yoinkies was like a rejected name for Hooters. Do you know what I mean?
That's where you go after.
Oh, that's for dessert. That's for dessert.
You go to Hooters, then you go to Yoinkies to finish.
Hey, we're doing an after party at Yoinkies. Come join us. All right.
If there were a strip club called Yoinkies, I'd be there every night. That's the funniest possible strip club name.
Yeah, they do good business.
And if someone out there is like, oh, I live in Toledo, there is a strip club here called Yoinkies, we will fly out. I will go to Yoinkies.
Yeah, wait. Oh, wait. That reminds me. Somebody did write us
about a strip club.
Sorry, no, not about a strip club named Yoinkies, even though please do that. But Sarah Yu.
Sarah me?
Sarah Yu.
I'm sure
Sarah
she gets
me.
that all the time. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I mean, I think it's you is the I'm
the
giving her a little
U.
anonymity.
Oh, I see. I thought it was like a like Asian YU.
Oh, right. Yeah, that also counts. Anyway, we also love our U fans. I'm sure Iffy's already well informed, but Gail was on Mythical Kitchen with Josh cooking for her.
Oh.
With the Mythical Smosh connection, maybe that's an in for you.
And so I know I am actually friends with Josh Shearer. Right. And when he was there with Gail, I texted him immediately, how dare you not connect me? You're getting in the way.
Must destroy all humans.
Boston bot.
So this
Boston
is the game
Dynamics.
I was talking about, the Boston Sox in 2015, a 19-inning, 6-hour, 49-minute marathon against the Yankees.
That's what listening to this accent feels like for me.
The Yoinkies. Well, okay, so
wait, what became of that text? Josh was like, "Go fuck yourself," or
he was like, "No, I'm not gonna tell you. Not gonna invite you so you can flirt with this person."
Josh.
It's a fair response.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Well, thanks for suggesting it, Sarah. But once again, if he's horniness got in the way.
Sure. We will, I'm sure, find another way.
But Jessica, I truly appreciate you. You are looking out for me. You are looking out for what's best.
Sarah.
Who said Jessica?
You did. Boston Iffy said Jessica.
Yeah,
I heard someone say Jessica.
Kind of like the Boston Sarah,
Look back at the tapes, and you will see that someone said Jessica.
He said Jessica. That's why. Yeah, he just wanted to get the in there.
Jessica.
Sarah, thank you very much.
Okay.
You are appreciated.
Thank you, Sarah.
The shiniest pot in the pots and pans.
Oh shit!
Wow.
What a high honor.
Yeah,
Sarah, you heard that here. Well. Mission Impossible, everybody. We had to have our big blockbuster sponsorship of the season.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit Hollywood inside baseball because I did have a question here, and I want to know what you guys think of this. Mission Impossible is a Paramount franchise. Why was it advertised on NBC Universal?
I think it's because Top Chef always does just a big blockbuster sponsor, and they don't care where it comes from.
Really?
I think so. Well, okay, they did Jurassic last time. What's that?
That's Universal.
Yeah. I think there might be a connection we might not know about. And I think potentially there might be something going where it's just the money that they received to do this.
It had to have just been a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Maybe they just don't get the family discount.
My big question for this has to be, there is a huge ensemble for the Mission Impossible films.
And we got Greg Tarzan
Davis. Yes, exactly. Well, that is, with all respect to you, Tarzan.
Oh, I'm sure he's great.
But it's like, I would have also liked Ving Rhames.
I agree.
I know.
Well,
Yeah, I
they did.
guess-
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I guess, it's just tough with the scheduling. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's like this is the one you get. You
Right.
know?
Who's going to fly out to Toronto?
They did also introduce him as like actor and foodie or like restaurant enthusiast or something like that.
Self-proclaimed foodie.
That's what. Yeah. So it could have been that
He's the
like
most
his PR
interesting.
team was like, "What kind of outlets you want to hit?" And he's like, "Please get me on a food thing." And they're like, "We can get you on Top Chef for some
Right.
reason."
Or they fire it out to, like the Mission Impossible group. And they're like,
Right.
who's down to do this? First one to raise their hand.
Look, I start on a movie tomorrow,
Okay,
Woo.
Brad.
and yeah, that's a light humble brag, but also not, with all respect to Tarzan. Yet again, I am number 7 on the call sheet.
Wow.
Once again, not trying to brag. This is kind of like a neg, self-inflicted neg. I'm thinking I can potentially be on Top Chef.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we
When
go.
no one else from this movie wants to do a press
That's
tour,
right. That's
put
right.
me on the next Top Chef.
Okay,
Alright.
that's
I
exciting.
am also a self-proclaimed foodie, and the reason I know he is a self-proclaimed foodie, this is only going to get
yeah.
harder.
Yep.
It's getting
The reason I know he's a self-proclaimed foodie is because the way he was talking about the food when he was there, and he was trying to say things. It was almost like he was trying to blend in. He was like, it wasn't landing for me.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
I was like,
yeah,
relax.
relax.
We're not expecting
yeah.
you to have the same level of criticism as these restaurateurs.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tough.
If I go, and this can be my audition tape for the person who
This
works
is
at-
your audition tape? Good luck. I don't think you're going to book it.
Might want to do another take of this whole podcast. Oh no.
I'm always going to be the comedic relief at the table. I'm not
Okay.
going to have any harsh criticism. I'm going to say something I liked about it
Mhm.
and a bit.
Like a Michael
One
Cera.
quite
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
this. Yes, like a Michael Sarah. Speaking of Sarah, thanks for that.
Thank you. Hell
you
yeah.
again,
Way to bring
Sarah.
it
Brought it
back.
back around.
back.
Bravo.
Oh, shiniest pot.
So because it's Mission Impossible, this is why we learn, okay, they got to create a dish that features a stunt, which we'll get into.
Okay.
Whether they
we
do
gotta
it or
get into
not,
that.
it's
yeah.
controversial. And then also, this is why they're jumping off that CN tower, even though they
Yeah.
didn't jump off, which we learned.
They leaned off,
They
which
leaned
is
off.
a
They had
little
to-
scary.
So yeah, they had to do the edge walk, which is a 116 feet circle, which everybody did, which is kind of funny. They
Yeah.
all got that first advantage. But then, yeah, the leaning, it seemed like Massimo and Lana didn't lean and everybody else did.
Would you guys have done it? How are you with heights?
I don't think I'm very. I don't know, but I think it wouldn't be easy. But I definitely would have committed to trying to do it.
Wait, you've never been in like an observatory? You've never gone to like the top floor of a building?
Well,
in a
it
glass
varies
window or...
because sometimes I can look over and I'm totally fine.
Oh, okay.
And then one time I'm in the building formerly known as Sears Tower, and you go in that
That's right.
box and look
yeah,
down,
yeah.
and that was
Oh.
terrifying.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. I went to school in
Wonder
Chicago,
what's-
so I have like pictures on that ledge. It's a
Oh,
lot of fun.
yes.
Oh, interesting. What's specifically tough about that, you think,
It's
compared to
it's a
other...
glass box that protrudes from the rest of the building. So you
sure.
step out, you look down, you are hovering above the city of Chicago.
on glass?
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yowza. Yowza. What about you, Mike? Would you have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty okay with heights. Not that I don't have that Tom Cruise like I'm fearless. Like it's still a little but
good.
I'll do it. It's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. Like, I think I'm always big talk on the ground, and then I get
Okay.
up there, and then, ooh, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think it's one of those things where it's like the worst thing that happens is the cable snaps and you die, and that is like kind of a cool way to go. You know what I mean?
In the middle of Top Chef.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
they have it
damn,
on
well-
camera, you know.
Yeah, there goes one chef.
I did think it was cute that their advantage was like taped to the outside. So as they were leaning back, you know what I mean? It's like,
Oh,
look,
sure.
what does that
Oh,
sign say?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a smart idea to tie it in a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was a little bit like, it is kind of, I mean, we talked about this last week a bit, but I'm like, chefs, they're already chefing so hard. They got to do this stunt? Because I feel like it's more reserved for the bachelors, the bachelorettes, where it's like, you really don't have to do too much hard other than get your heart broken.
Right.
But then you get ultimate fame. So I kind of feel like they have to be put through those things. But
well, and
for
also it's also
this,
like a more direct metaphor of like, well, you were willing to take this risk with me. So,
right.
I feel closer to you.
They bond up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, there was one where like the guy was so bad at it. Like he just like wasn't
on The
really...
Bachelor?
Yeah, I think it was as this most recent season. They did it was like Sam N. He was kind of a villain.
Sure.
They went up to the top and he was kind of like, they had like a lot of chemistry, but he was just sort of like not really doing much.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we can get rid of him. We can push him off the building.
And they didn't.
They did. Yeah, they
on
should have.
national television.
Then he really, would have been famous.
Okay, so can we talk about the challenge being do a stunt on a plate?
Yes.
Because I feel, here's my take. I get what they were going for. I understand all the marketing heads got into a room and they were like, we can do this because this is the definition of a stunt.
Yeah.
What the hell could, like, in the producer's like most ideal version, what would hit the plate that would go, oh yeah, that's a stunt on a plate? You know what I mean? It feels like an impossible challenge.
I feel like if Cesar's wasn't terrible, that was a good, I think.
Which one was Cesar's?
It had the angelis on top that wasn't done well. It was like the fish one, and it was too sweet.
Yeah, the
okay,
Tweedle.
yes,
that's
he built the CN Tower.
Yes,
that's
and then
right,
it was like you can break it, and you break in, and you get like that. Felt like it. There was like the courses to it. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good, altogether.
I hear what you're saying, and I just disagree. I'm like, okay. His, like, you got to break into the CN Tower, falls into the same category as Vinny's. You got to get past the lasers and get the key.
Yes.
Which is, like, stunt themed, but not a stunt.
Oh, interesting.
Does that make sense?
Well, okay,
it's like there's, like, a narrative of action movie, but it's not the same as a stunt on a plate.
I see what you mean. Yes, I think it was just so vague to them that, like, nobody did it. Yeah.
Do you think that Buddha Lowe's kind of idea that he kind of floated before we started would have qualified as a stunt for you?
Oh, if it was actually floating, right? That was his comment?
Yeah, he was like, I wanted to do a thing where I made the meringue float using helium.
Right. I think that's closer. But then I think
you are arguing that you think they were tasked with something that was impossible.
Mission
Impossible.
That wasn't even on purpose. I'm just that good.
I wasn't sure if it was.
I think it's like a half-baked idea for a challenge because it's they kind of just like, we got to tie in something with Mission Impossible, which is known for its stunts. Stunt on a plate, because a stunt is something that requires extraordinary skill, and they're doing it's like they connected all the dots, but it doesn't feel.
I feel like we got close enough with some of those. I think even Massimo's take on the way I made this was a stunt. I thought that was pretty good. I thought the breaking in and the breadsticks were good. Everything else, what are you doing? Bailey's, like, maybe you can save that one for Knives Out, where it's a murder mystery type of cinema. Illusion. Because of Illusion. That wasn't a stunt at all.
Yes.
But I did like what she did.
But whenever they tie in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and they do the illusion jump.
Well, they did announce the third one or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a Dish with Kish episode that I did watch.
Okay.
And they brought on, the guy. Sorry, Voltaggio, Michael Voltaggio.
Oh, sure.
Who's kind of known for just making incredible things that look and taste good.
Yeah.
And so he did something where it was like, he did a frozen dome over. It was sort of like a dessert, but it was like a frozen dome that I think you crack and eat.
Okay.
So I guess it was sort of supposed to be like you break in, so it wasn't, again, he didn't necessarily like do anything crazy, but it looked cool and it felt like, similar to maybe what you would think of like, oh, I got to break in this safe or something, right?
Okay, this is not a premeditated thought. I'm having this thought real time in the moment, so I reserve the right to take it back. But my instinct is that it's like, when I think of a stunt, I think of something that, like, yes, requires skill or whatever their stupid definition was. But I think it's also something that's like no one in their right mind would try because there's such a high degree of failure.
I see.
Do you know what I mean? And so I'm like, what I would want to see is like a tableside presentation that has a risk of failing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, I'm going to flambe this. What? No, yeah. The dry ice was a huge failure. But like something like, I'm going to flambe this, or I'm going to do a tableside pour, or I'm going to chop this in real time or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if I do it wrong, the dish is ruined. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
That to me feels more like a stunt, and less like an action movie themed dish, and more like I'm going to do something in front of you. You know?
I mean, I'm surprised, there wasn't more like fire elements. That kind of feels right.
Give me an explosion,
But yes, I do think that like this was basically, because it just said like featured a stunt. So then maybe in their heads they're like, well, it's just going to like feature this thing that like is a stunt in a movie like Tristan's or,
Yeah, because it's somewhere in the middle there. You have a problem, right? Because this movie, Mission Impossible, has a lot of stunts. They got a lot of stunts, and they have things that may have people get harmed and hurt. But you're never going to see that in the movie. You're always going to do the completed version of it. It will be the success. The success is the movie. And I think by that same metric, you would do the same if you were making a dish, because you're never going to give someone a fucked up dish, even though that did happen.
That did happen. But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to like take a risk and it might get fucked up anyway, do something like actually fun and cool instead of just like, oops, I played it on dry ice,
Oops, it's frozen.
Oops, all frozen.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So we did have, it was an interesting thing. Like, I think it sounded very exciting. And then, these are the kind of things where I think they, just from the production point of view, they probably were excited about what would happen. And then you see what dishes come out. This wasn't the most successful challenge.
And they said that.
Clearly.
They were like, no one really did a big stunt.
The interpretation, was not quite there. Whatever, if it got lost in communication or whatnot.
But again, I don't blame them. I think it's just like the challenge was a little just like, I don't know, do a stunt. It's like, well, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. True. And it's like, what if they haven't really seen the Mission Impossible movies? I mean, Tristan did, of course.
I feel like you wouldn't need to see a Mission Impossible movie to know what a stunt is.
Sure. You could also watch Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Those are her only 2 reference points for stunts.
Yeah. That's all. But I have seen all of the Mission Impossible movies. And Tristan's was a reference to MI2, where they do the virus.
I thought it was 3. 2's the virus? No, I don't remember.
Well, maybe I'm wrong then. But I've seen it.
I know, I've seen them too, but I'm trying to... Who's the bad guy in 2? Okay, we don't need to do this on air, no.
Impossible 2. I mean, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, because Tandy Newton's in this one. Yeah, because that's the one with the virus.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. So what was 3? Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Ooh,
that's right. Okay.
Yeah, he's good in that. Okay, get excited,
Rest in
everybody.
pace.
Pace.
Racing Pice. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So we'll go through all these dishes that were variations of success on the stunt front. But best really was Massimo's. He did his Pacific trout and croûte with sauce matelote fondue. I was typing a little too fast here. The stunt was cooking the protein in pastry. And Buddha just loved him. And that was really funny to me, that he just like immediately loved this guy. He was like, he loved the loudness. He loved the personality. He loved the dish. And he was like, you're going to follow this guy? Like, which is, I feel like Buddha came in thinking like, this guy must be the front runner, right? And it's like, oh, actually, he's not.
Kind of in the middle.
Yeah. But like, cool.
Yeah.
And because Massimo's whole stunt was like doing this thing in 2 hours, I'm giving him a quarter point, because he was like doing the...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, doing the like, this usually takes X amount of time, but in so many things, that was the whole point. So he gets a quarter point for that. Alana did her fried fish basket, torchon of fish with cornmeal cream, tartar sauce hollandaise, cornmeal crumble. This was all kind of an illusion for her, but it was mainly just like deconstructed fried fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that, I said, oh no.
I know.
It's like, you did the meme that everyone makes fun of fine dining for, and you handed it to, and Tom's face when he ate it, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. They held on Tom's face for quite some time. You were able to take it in and really see he didn't like it.
Okay, I didn't think about that, but you are right. That is such a trope to be like, oh, I deconstructed a peanut butter and jelly or whatever. And it's like, just give me a peanut butter and jelly.
Right. Some things are better as the original.
I will say, I ate at a restaurant this weekend, and I won't name them because I'm not that kind of guy. But
Nice.
The server was like, oh, the cheesecake is, it's like a deconstructed take on a cheesecake. It doesn't have a crust, and it has like a pistachio honey crumble on top. And I was like, that sounds good. I'll have that. And I swear to God, what came out was like a Costco slice of cheesecake. It was like the most classic, not deconstructed, fully had a crust, not a hint of pistachio
they
on it.
They ran out, man. They had to make a quick run.
It was a completely different dish.
Yeah, they were going through a sitcom moment where it was like, oh no, it's the guy from the food podcast, and he ordered something and we don't have it. What can we do? Run to Costco?
Oh, no, yeah.
Costco,
please.
Costco.
We need a cheesecake.
Casca.
Casca. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they triangulated your face from all of our YouTube videos.
Yeah. Thanks
Make
for
sure-
watching.
Make sure you
Unnamed
watch.
restaurant.
Yeah. Make sure you watch our unedited versions. Bailey did her tiramisu fugazi, crispel alla norcina. Very satisfying. Crepes thick and doughy, though, a little.
Looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind a thick crepe.
I don't either, especially in
So,
this
yeah,
context. It
yeah.
seems like it would have worked.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, when they mentioned that as a problem, I was like, it seemed like it'd be weird to have this stuff with a thick crepe.
Like a thin one.
Thin. Sorry,
I
yes,
guess
I
for
misspoke. Thin
the-
crepe.
For the savoriness of it. I would feel like I would want a thin crepe if it were a dessert, but if it's savory, maybe
Sure.
Exactly.
maybe not. Yeah.
My big thing with this dish was that, again, setting aside that like an illusion is not the same thing as a stunt. Her aim, the illusion was like it tastes like lasagna but looks like tiramisu, right? Or do I have that
Yes,
backwards?
I believe
No,
so.
yeah.
Mhm.
It didn't look like a tiramisu. I was like,
I was like,
it
dude,
has
what's a tiramisu?
layers, but like it didn't. It looked like very much like a lasagna.
Wait,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Tiramisu. It's like I kind of forgot. Okay, yeah, that doesn't
No.
quite look like a
Well,
tiramisu.
'cause,
It's,
like-
it's a crepe tiramisu. Is that a different type of tiramisu
No.
or something?
If she had
Mhm.
maybe, and I understand it was like a huge portion, if she had maybe put it in like a coupe glass or something, like a vessel,
Right.
the same way you would serve a tiramisu, I would have been like, okay, sure.
Right.
But it was just kind of like a big,
Slice.
like layered thing, and I was
Slice.
like, well, that's also what lasagna looks like. So,
You know, have you know these Millie crepe cakes?
it's
kinda
yeah,
like that.
milfoy or not milfoy,
Yeah.
but yeah, like the Lady M like 1,000 crepe layers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that is like there's kind of one at the Asian market called Millie crepe cakes that are
Yeah,
like
yeah.
based on that, I suppose. And that's what it looked like to me because they're sliced
Sure.
in like pie
Yes,
slice. looking
and I
things.
appreciate that. Like
Mhm.
she made clean layers. It looked really good. It was just
Apparently
that she
tastes
was
good.
like, it's supposed to look like tiramisu. I'm like, well, then plate it like tiramisu.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Mm.
that's just me. Call me crazy.
Eh.
It looked delicious.
I think luckily it tasted good and that saved her a lot and
Yeah.
and a lot of other people had worse problems so that also saved.
Yeah.
Um
It was
Cesar,
strictly a marketing issue to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If you're gonna tell me it's gonna look like a tiramisu, anyway. Okay.
She
moving
probably
on.
could. Yeah. You take a thing and you just
Yeah.
scoop it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Cesar did his Arctic char tartare, turmeric custard, fish tuile. This was the one that was he was struggling with the tuiles, a little
Mhm.
sloppy and burnt. Everybody kind of struggled with the flavor. The conclusion was like it needed acidity to cut through the sweetness because it was very sweet.
Yeah. Sweet fish is a little. I'm curious. I'm like, I kind of want to try it. I'll try a sweet fish
You-
custard.
I mean, he's pairing the fish with lots of things when he did his like coffee salmon thing last
Right,
or a couple
yeah.
episodes ago. Now he's doing this like sweet sweet fish again.
Yeah, his sense of flavor pairings. I'm really
Yeah.
just like
Loves a big swing.
loves a big
Maybe he was
swing.
thinking of sugarfish.
yeah,
Prime-
that's what that's about.
Prime sushi spot for TV writers.
Yummy, yum, sweet fish. Then Shawai did his turducken with potatoes and leek, peas, carrots, and gravy. This was like a stunt because it was a turducken, right?
Yes, and he
Okay.
said that they're usually dry and gross, and he's
Making them nice and moist.
which like again, it fits the brief insofar as the brief was like anything that requires a high degree of skill or difficulty.
Okay, yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
a stunt.
sure,
Okay,
yeah.
Mhm.
But it doesn't. That doesn't jive with like Mission Impossible to me. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't. It's tough because when I heard featured for stunt, I'm like going back to the themes of like, ooh, the lasers, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But then when it's the whole thing is a stunt, it wasn't make a dish that requires a stunt,
Right,
you know.
right,
So I don't know. Again, maybe it's just the phrasing of this challenge.
Okay, here's a
little-
new pitch that I just thought of.
Okay.
You know how it's the like you have to defuse a bomb, you have to clip like the red wire or the green wire, and you don't know which one's which. And if you clip the wrong wire, it's
Ooh.
gonna blow. Give me 2 mystery sauces. You know what I mean?
And
You-
one sucks.
One of them sucks.
One's gonna ruin your day.
Yeah, exactly. That's a stunt to me.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, that was kind of like what Lana was trying to do.
With her little deconstructed fish fry.
Yeah, remember there was 2 different sauces.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But it
Lana.
that wasn't her thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She just happened to have 2 sauces.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, well, she could have used that. Okay, Vinny, this is the lasers guy. So extract the key from lasers. Love the little key. Beef tartare, various beets, whipped foie gras, and harissa. But the main problem was he left it on the dry ice too long and it froze everything and it couldn't be eaten.
Yeah.
Which
Gross.
is kind of sad. But the story really blew away Buddha, so that's good.
Sure.
Tristan did his chicken impossible king crab and sausage stuffed chicken wings. This was the thing that was based on Mission Impossible 2, where like, yeah, they injected it in. It's kind of gross to keep calling it like a virus, but it is funny. And it was on theme. And Tom said it was that sauce was like the best thing he tasted all day.
Sure.
Restaurant ready sauce. So
Yeah.
clearly another great hit by Tristan. So at the judges' table, we have the favorites, Tristan, Bailey, and Massimo, and they each get a point. And the clear winner was Massimo.
Hell yeah, brother.
Massimo
Yeah.
finally taking it for you.
That's right. And he got
Pays
me
off.
20, 30 points.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if there's the Massimo multiplier. But yeah, he gets to go to the premiere of Mission Impossible, which is funny. He didn't seem that excited.
He didn't seem enthused in the slightest.
And then they said he'd be sitting next to him. Like he was like, and you'll be
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
next to me. Which is that true? Is that awkward?
I highly doubt it. I think
Or
that
he
was
just
more like a friendly thing to say.
Yeah, we'll be nearby. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That would be funny.
Yeah. I've been to a few premieres, and I'm gonna tell you, the distance between like people in the movie and invited folks.
Oh yeah. No
Very
way.
far.
Very far, yeah.
Nice. I can't wait to see Massimo on the red carpet. I assume he'll get his little.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
got to
he'll
be
get a little
any
top
day
shelf.
now. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Ooh, can't wait. I will be seeing the movie. Very excited.
Oh, I've got my
you already
opening
got
night
Oh,
tickets.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So fast.
No, I
Okay.
love the Mission Impossible franchise.
Yeah.
D-
it's-
and in case there's any doubt in the entire time I've been talking about this, I fucking love the Mission Impossible movies. They're so good.
I will say I was a big Ilsa Faust fan,
Okay,
and with her absence, not as psyched about it.
Well, if this is anything like Fast and the Furious, and if we are
No,
to
sure,
believe that this
sure.
is the final one, they'll
They
find a
might
way to
just
bring her back.
everyone back.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So bottom was Lana, Vinny, and Shawai. Of course, they kind of had more unsuccessful dishes. And this time they did say they're factoring in the quickfire, which is this the first time they've done that? Not really. Or the season? It felt more
Not
weighty.
really, but I remember they did this last season too, where out of
Yeah.
nowhere they were like, "We're factoring in the quick fire," and I feel like that's because they're like, "We know who you think we should send home."
Oh, like they bring it out just out of convenience for...
Maybe.
When
This
they don't wanna send-
it does feel like maybe that's just me. I got the feeling when they were introing the quickfire is like, oh, Tom and Gil are here. It kind of was giving like we ran out of Canadian celebrities. You know what I mean?
But they have Mission Impossible guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so they really are kind of looking at mainly Lana, Vinny, Shawai, and Cesar too. Sorry, on the bottom. That they're kind of looking at Lana a lot, and then they're also like Shawai's kind of safe. Sorry, so it's Lana, Vinny, Cesar. So they're looking at Lana a lot. They're looking at Vinny. They're looking at Cesar. But Vinny's, they're like pretty impressed with the story. Lana, they're like, it wasn't great, but her quickfire was so good.
Right.
And then Cesar, like he was bottom quickfire.
Yeah.
Or was he bottom quickfire? Let me look. I don't remember. Yes. Or no, he wasn't really. He was just like unmentioned.
Yeah, middle.
And then Vinny was like unedible, but like, yeah, I don't know. So it was a little confusing because I thought for sure they should send Vinny home at this point. I was like, he made that big mistake. They couldn't even eat his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he made a good stunt, but like, who cares? Everybody did a stunt.
I think it was that they said it like they could tell it would have been good had it been plated properly. Whereas
Right.
like Cesar's was just like flat out not good. You know?
Right.
I don't
But
know.
yeah. And then he did, I kind of didn't realize that he did the tower.
Oh,
So now
sure,
that you guys
yeah.
mentioned, I'm like, oh, well, at least he did the tower. But okay. So we learn, kind of big shocker for me, at least, Cesar going to Last Chance Kitchen.
Yeah.
Which really, I was like, damn, because he was such an exciting person.
He was
Did
the
the pickle
wild
dessert.
card. Yeah.
He had like crazy ideas, which I feel like the judges tend to like. It's like, if you're just down the middle, kind of boring, like that's a bigger crime.
Well, I think you're allowed to take those big swings if they connect more often than not. And I
Okay,
think
and he was
that
hitting
Cesar's thing was that
some.
like, yeah, his batting average was a little low.
Okay, got it. So, Last Chance Kitchen.
Oh God.
Woo!
Go on. I'm so upset and disappointed.
Oh, okay. Yes, this is crazy because, we go in thinking it's just another Last Chance Kitchen, right? And of course, I play part 2 by accident.
No, really?
I accidentally started part 2. It's the Peacock interface.
It's
my
not
friends.
good.
What's going on?
Here's the thing. We'll go back and forth between the Bravo app and the Peacock app,
Oh,
and they
interesting.
both suck ass.
I've discarded the
Yes.
Bravo app, but yeah.
Yeah, but the
Peacock
Peacock
is not-
app is
it's
not
just-
good.
It's not good. And it's just, it's like, just play what I haven't seen yet. The next one.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Exactly.
asking.
How hard
That's
could it
what-
be?
And then it jumps. But anyway, okay, so we're rolling it back. It's part 1. Katiana versus Cesar. You picked the right one. So challenge, they just each have to pick a stunt double from the eliminated chefs who are sitting on the sidelines. So they have to get up and do some work, and then they have to instruct them. Katiana will be picks Cat, so it's a team of cats, very cute. And Cesar picks Corwin, 2 tall, skinny boys.
I did like this challenge. I just this was like this felt like more of like a movie tie-in thing. I was like, I get
Stunt
it.
doubles.
I get the concept.
We get it. We know. And they kind of did pick the people who were like closest to their type, who could be their stunt doubles. No, I'm kidding. So Katiana picks Cat. She makes a burrata with roasted bacon, kimchi condiment, and fried Brussels sprouts. Tom wish I had a little bit more acid. Then with Cesar's dish via Corwin, he makes a pear cream with grilled pear, roasted maitakis with kumquat and puree. That looks really good. The grilled pears did look really good. That was cute. Some bits are a little bitter, according to Tom. But the winner of that challenge was Cesar. And people are kind of shocked and surprised. I think Katiana's been so strong, and they didn't think Cesar would beat him. But plot twist, they learn it's actually 2 out of 3. So Katiana's still in the game. The winner is, the stakes are so high, the winner's going to return to Top Chef. This is the last chance kitchen championship. So challenge 2, it's going to be make your best one bite. That one always coming back. So Katiana mentions she's been wanting to open a second restaurant with her husband. So we kind of know at this point.
Yeah, that's hard to watch in real time, to be like, ugh.
Right. It didn't happen, or it is going to happen. Who knows? Is it going to happen? Yeah. I don't know what she's referring to, but great. We're looking forward to it. We will eat there. Cesar, he's like, he said this thing where he's like, it's always about the flavors and keeping a childlike wonder about them. And I thought that was really cute. And it's like, he's kind of like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Sure. That's actually a really apt metaphor, because Willy Wonka also made candy that like murdered children. You know what I mean? Like a girl turned into a blueberry and floated into a fan. Like,
oh yeah, they were floating in the fan. Augustus Gloop got stuck in the tubes.
well, that was for his own.
Oh right.
Gluttony.
But he shouldn't have tempted the boy with such chocolate in the river.
I just mean, like, I feel like Cesar is, he does have that childlike one of like, why can't
But
blue
he
cheese
might
and white
kill
chocolate go
a
together? And it's
child.
like, what's blue cheese and white chocolate, dog?
Sure,
just stop and
sure.
think about that for 1 second.
He's crazy. So yeah, Cesar does his gougere with white chocolate and blue cheese filling, and Tom is like, I don't know what this is. It's really salty and it's really sweet. It's very bizarre. I wonder whose that is. And then Katiana does a seared tuna with smoked shoyu. The tuna itself could be seasoned more, he says, but she is the winner. So she wins challenge 2. It's all tied up. It's so exciting.
This is always kind of the problem with like a blind judging, especially with like more experienced chefs. If you're doing a blind judging on MasterChef and they're all kind of amateurs, it's like, sure, fine, whatever. But on this one, it's like, well, let me guess. Is the Asian one from Katiana and is the weird one from Cesar? I don't think Katiana's out there trying out blue cheese and white chocolate.
Blue.
You never know. You never know.
Cheese,
Just
chocolate
late in the
cream
game, it could be anything.
The funny thing here was when Katiana won, Cat cheered really loudly, which is cute.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're picking sides. No. Okay. So it's sudden death tiebreaker. So we got challenge number 3. They get to cook whatever they want. Oh, oops. I forgot to write it down here. But what did they make?
For the
Katiana,
third challenge,
yeah,
it was
the winning
20
one.
minutes, make your best dish.
Yeah, make your best dish. But Katiana made her delicious, potato soup or something. She kind of went back to her like original flavors.
Or no, potato cauliflower soup.
Yeah. And then
Vaudevin spices.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that was a restaurant learning thing she did. And then Cesar made his winning. Shoot, I'm sorry. I had a busy deadline this weekend. Cesar made a winning dish.
I'm trying to remember.
Where
It was something from his childhood. Oh, it was a Pipion.
Oh, okay. Thank you so
Yes.
much. I wouldn't have remembered that at all. Pipion.
I don't remember what was on top of Pipion, but he definitely made a green Pipion.
Oh, it had blueberries.
Oh, that's right.
The
Okay, so
blueberry
it was
flavors were in
a
there.
zucchini squash spirally thing.
Spiral. Yeah, with blueberries
blueberries.
he tossed in, and that was kind of his unique take. That was his big chance taking on the flavors. Okay, thank you. And the winner was Cesar. They said it was really, really close, but he won.
That is such a bummer.
Such a
and
wild pick,
Katiana.
but I'm glad it's one that I picked. Cesar
Hey.
for the win.
You know, they're both strong candidates. Obviously, Katiana was my team. I wanted her to win. She worked so hard, but
wanted her to win so
but
badly.
Cesar was really strong, and I think some of the things that he's going to make it an exciting competition. I think just by being there and having his like
sure.
wacky take.
I also kind of am in any season disappointed when the person who comes back from Last Chance Kitchen is just the last person who got out.
Sure, yeah.
Ah,
If they have
yes,
the
I can see
easiest.
that. You're like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, you didn't really have to fight too much.
Right, exactly. Whereas like someone who's won like 4 in a row, it's like
Yes.
that's a real underdog and you want to see that person
Right.
come back.
Exactly, and she really was strong. So I think, yeah, I wonder what the current like Top Chef competitors would think. Like, I think they're going to be kind of like it's Cesar, but I think if Katiana came back, they would be like, oh shit. So
Yeah.
they'd probably be a little happy too. But okay, just a scoring thing. So because these are 3 different challenges, each of the winners of the challenge get half a point.
Okay.
So Cesar gets a point for winning 2 of those challenges, then 4 points
Oh wow.
for returning
back.
as the champ,
Okay.
and then
I
Katiana
like
gets half a
those
point.
numbers.
Numbers.
So we know no, hell yeah, we know that the team Boston's getting some points from Cesar there, and he'll be coming back into the competition, and so everybody didn't have to miss him for too long. And next week we've got Punky Johnson.
Who is she Canadian?
No,
she's from
I doubt
she's
it.
from Louisiana. She's from New Orleans. I know Punky. Punky's great.
Yeah.
Yes, you might be right because Punky is straight up
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Louisiana. We
Yeah.
were talking about last time we were together.
So sweet. Well, we'll see what the occasion is. Maybe it's like a comedy theme.
Punky is funny as hell.
Make
to hear.
a hilarious dish.
Yeah,
With a
featuring
wacky ingredient.
a joke.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't want to know what they do there.
Or Punky's gonna explain like a joke is a setup and a punchline. So we
Oh,
want
yeah.
you to make a dish with a punchline.
Yeah. Nice, perfect. I can see the script now. So let's get to our points breakdown. You can find our rules on Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League, pinned to the page. So for the top, we had a quick fire favorites: Lana, Vinny, Tristan, and Shwai, all 4 of them. And then they get half a point each. Quick fire win, Lana. Judges table, Massimo, Tristan, and Bailey with a point. The elimination challenge winner was Massimo for 2 points. So for the Last Chance Kitchen challenge winners, we have Cesar times 2 for a point total. Katiana, half a point. The champion coming back, Cesar with 4 points. And then Massimo gets a quarter point for saying doing the usually takes this long, but he made his thing very quickly. That was his stunt. So this week, I gain 3 points. Mike, you gain 3 1/4 points.
Okay.
And Iffy gains 7.5 points.
Whoa.
Let's hear the breakdown.
A lot of that, Caesar. And then, so our totals are, Mike, you're at 21.75.
Okay.
Iffy, you've got 30.
Okay.
And I have 46.75.
Okay, so
Still
okay.
a lot.
So
But-
16
Yeah.
16
You can make 16 points
But
in
yeah,
what,
it's
3 or 4
not-
episodes left?
Well,
You
yeah.
have to keep losing
Yeah.
not even get 3 points. I need 0 points from Team Sierra.
Got it. Yes. I'll get some negatives if there's some negatives. We'll figure it out, folks. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, can I give one shout out that I
Yes.
just forgot to mention up top, which is, and she doesn't need this, but this past weekend I went to Vegas because that's where my family is and we were visiting. And I took my mom to brunch at Martha Stewart's restaurant,
Oh,
the Bedford, and it fucking rocked.
wow.
They're not paying me. I have no motivation to, Martha Stewart doesn't need my help. And last week, in fact, I was trashing her show. Yes, Chef sucks as a TV show.
I mean,
But her restaurant I was blown away by how good it
Oh.
was.
Yeah, so if you were having any doubts, you can put that to Bedford.
isn't Bedford a city in Massachusetts?
Bedford. You can put it to Bedford. Bedford, Massachusetts.
It was just like a really good breakfast. Like what are they serving?
The menu, so the brunch menu is smaller than the dinner menu, and everything was extremely simple, and it's like not exciting. You're like, how good could a quarter chicken be? We got like a quarter chicken, and it was the best fucking chicken I've ever had in my life. Got like an endive salad, and it was like nothing that you couldn't assemble at home theoretically, but it was just assembled so everything was executed perfectly. We had these pierogies, and it's like pierogies are pretty humble food. It's the fucking best pierogies I've ever had. So good. Everything was like so simple and just so highly executed. That was like, I would go back here any day. Thank you, Martha Stewart.
Good job, Bedford, for the win. Well, more delightful reviews, things like that, you can always count on us. So
Delightful reviews.
Make sure you
Stellar accents.
tune in next week.
A Top Chef Fantasy League. Nope, TV Chef Fantasy League.
Even better. Iffy, any last remarks as a Bostonian man?
It's been great. And I thank all of the supporters who supported us during the MaxFunDrive.
Wow.
And everyone who still is signing up to be a member at MaximumFun.org/join.
Wow.
Wow.
Keep up the good work.
You got the plug in
We
there.
will too.
That's
You got
great.
the plug in there. He's got my vote.
Hell yeah. Well, you heard it here. We are.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to
Oh,
drive down the street in my convertible, pass a grassy knoll.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, we went dark.
Too
Oh, no.
soon.
Yeah,
Too
all-
soon.
All Bostonian accents must come to an end. And with that, this has been an episode of TV Chef Fantasy League.
What if next time I'm doing RFK?
Oh, God.
Oh, that is going to be even easier to listen to, I'm sure.
Also too soon.
Too soon, too relevant. So, anything else? I
Don't give him more of a platform.
I don't want to cut you
Don't
off.
give him more
I'm
rope.
trying to give the
No.
people what
We
they
can do
want.
the exhibit episode.
Oh.
Pimp your TV
Oh,
Chef Fantasy
Okay.
League.
Oh, yeah. Lots
Put a
of
TV inside your pierogi.
Wow.
Pierogi.
You're just going to.
Heard you like pierogi, so we put a microwave in the back seat.
nice.
Sarah, do you have an
Pierogi
impression that you
TV.
just bust out the way that if he just did exhibit
No, that
apropos of
was pretty
nothing?
good. That was great. I don't think I do.
It is never relevant, but it's the one that I actually know how to do.
It's pretty good.
exhibit.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Everybody recognizes it, though. I feel like it's a very.
Everyone of our age
Yeah,
recognizes
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Gen Z
fair.
doesn't know who the fuck exhibit is.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, what does that have to do with Skibbity Toilet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Gen Zibbit.
Skibbity
Skibbity toilet Zibbit.
Exhibity Toilet.
People have fully stopped listening at this point. They're like, we got it.
Yeah,
They
okay,
did
good.
the points.
are
The episode's
good.
over.
Get rid of these people. Thank you. All right. I'll wrap this up. If you like this podcast, share it with someone. But yes, please, you heard here already the fruits of your joining,
That's right.
which is the Boston accent, a whole episode. There will be more. We still haven't hit all our rewards, so stay tuned. But also, please go to MaximumFun.org/join, where you can support us for as little as $5 a month. It really helps us out. It makes us learn better accents, be better citizens of this world. If you have any thoughts to or suggestions, like Sarah, drop us a line. You can DM us on Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League. Follow us as well. Or send us an email at chef@MaximumFun.org, and we'll check it. If you're doing your own Top Chef Fantasy League with friends, please let us know. Hope it's all going well. And then for full unedited episodes, you can check us out on YouTube and recognize our faces in case you own a restaurant and want to give us free food. Thanks again to my co-host, Mike Cabalon and Iffy Wadiway. We'll be back next week, presumably not with a Boston accent, but maybe with another one. Who knows? Stay tuned. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. Our engineer is Gabe Mara. Our theme song is by Dylan Van Auken. Our artwork is by Sabrina Volante. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.